This week's Parashat, Parashat Toldot, as we know, it starts. Now I wrote the shiur. Really, I wrote a different shiur, and then I went to the first three psukim of the Parashat. And really the whole shiur is on the first three psukim, the first three paragraphs, the first three sentences in the Parashat. That's the whole shiur. If we're lucky, we get to the fourth. And the fourth one also, but we're not going to get to the fourth today. Brother Shem, this week's Parashat starts. This week's Parashat is all about Yitzchak. Yitzchak Avinu. And it starts telling us, this is the life of Yitzchak Avinu, the son of Avraham. And Avraham gave birth, he was the father of Yitzchak. Right, imagine? So he tells you, Yitzchak was the son of Avraham, and Avraham gave birth to Yitzchak. What's the double language over here? What's the redundancy? Why do I need to know that? Maor, the son of Gilad, and Gilad is the father of Gilad. What is this? We're talking to the kid? Trying to explain to him the sugya? This is a candy, and you eat the candy, and the candy comes to the kid. Let me repeat, what's the redundancy over here? So right on the spot, Rashi has a question on this, and he says, I don't understand, what's the redundancy? So you have to understand that Avraham Avinu was 100 years old when Yitzchak was born, and Sarai Imenu was 90. Now they were trying for many, many years to have children. Many years. And they weren't able to have children. Now as we spoke about in the past, when did Avraham have the merit to have a child with Sarai Imenu? After she was taken by Avimelech. Avimelech, a king of Gerar, stole her. He gave her back. Avraham prayed on his behalf that he'll heal all the people over there. And God in turn healed Sarah's stomach. So all the letzanim, all the clowns, the cynics, the coffers of the generation, what did they say? You see, the kid must be Avimelech's, must not be Avraham's. Why? They've been trying for many years. They can't have children. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they have kids. Doesn't make any sense. So right away on the spot, God did a miracle. That Yitzchak, on that moment, changed his actual face to make him look exactly like Avraham Avinu, twins, so that no one would ever have a mistake. And therefore, it says that the Avraham, birth of Yitzchak, was the language of the people in that generation, that they understood and they took it wholeheartedly. Now, why I bring this? I think this is a classic case of every single person in the world who wants to take out God from the equation. You have something which is outright a miracle. A man 100 years old, trying for years to have children, and a woman 90 who is completely barren. Completely barren. Not able to have children. God does them a miracle. And what do people want to do? What do the cynics want to do? Take God out of the situation. Like a time someone came to me, told me, listen, I have a guy who wants to be Chozer B'Tshuvah, wants to become religious. But on one thing, he has two t'nais, two things that you have to answer, and he'll become religious. How do you explain the splitting of the Sea of Reeds without God? How do you explain the Sea of the Reeds? And I forgot the second question. And I told him, so basically what you want me to do is to make him become religious, I have to take God out of the equation and make it not godly. I told him, okay, eastern wind, western wind, met, and they blew the waters to the side. Good? You ready to come back to religion now? The reality is, people who want to take away God from the situation, they're always going to take God away from the situation, but what they're going to lack is logic. What they're going to lack is reason. Let's look what happened over here. All the people of the generation said that Sarah had a child with Avimelech, right? Who was barren? Avraham or Sarah? Avraham had a son, Ishmael. So Avraham had the ability to have children. So who didn't have the ability? Sarah. So what did they say? She must have had, how is that possible? She's the barren one, he's not the barren one. He has the ability to have kids, she doesn't. So we see that any time in life, we have people who want to take out God from the equation. They want to say, let's try and explain things that are going on, these phenomena, these things that are wondrous, and we don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's this, and it's ironic, and this. And every time you'll find that every time they try to explain those things with the irony, and the this and the that, you'll find that it has zero logic. Zero sense, zero logic whatsoever. One thing a person has to understand, the reason I brought this down tonight, which is not the main part of the shiur, is to understand the wonders of God. That's how great God is, and God can literally do anything to every single one of you in your entire life, no matter what it is. No matter how far-fetched, no matter how far you think it is, you should know that God has the ability to give you that thing. Has a 100% ability to give you even against all odds. And continue with the parasha, this is only the first sentence. Continue with the second sentence. And it says, and Yitzchak was 40 years old when he married Rivka, and Rivka was a daughter of Betuel, right? The Aramean from Padan Aram, right? He was the Aramean from a place called Padan Aram, and she was the sister of Lavan, Ha'arami. So again, we already learned last week that her father was Betuel and her brother was Lavan. So when it comes to tell us again, why did it tell me who her father was and who her brother was? Tell me who her brother is, I know who her father is. Tell me who her father is, I know who her brother is. Tell me what city she comes from, and I'll know what she... Why you have to tell me all three of these things? Why do I need to know? You already told me already. Why are you repeating yourself? We should know the Torah never adds any extra words. Why is the Torah repeating itself? Every time the Torah repeats itself, you should know it has a reason. Rashi on the spot comes right away and he says to give her a praise, to show you how great she was. Her father, Betuel, was a wicked man. He came from a place of wicked people. Her brother was also a wicked man. And even with a wicked father, a wicked brother in a wicked city, she came out righteous. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? Wow! How do you explain such a thing? She comes from a place of all wicked people. Rashaib, take a person, put him in the Bronx, and he comes out to Chassidish. How's it possible? That today it's possible, right? Because today looks different. But I'm serious, what's going on over here? You take a person, you put him in the middle of a festival, he comes out with tefillin and tefillin. Ma kore po? How did you come out from such a bad place and you come out to be such a great person? Yifka was the mother of all the Jewish nation. From her came Yaakov, and from him came the whole Jewish nation. You sitting over here, she's your mother. How did she come out from that? Rashi says, you know why we recounted everything? Because look at the praise she has. Look at the praise she has. Look how far she came from. Look at all the odds she had to overcome to get where she needed to get to. And what does that teach us? That no matter how far a person is, he always has the ability to come back. And not even that. The further you are, the greater you are if you come back. The greater you are, the more praiseworthy you are if you come back. I said, wow, so beautiful, right? Thinking about it, how many times I've said it in my life? I've told people, me, I'm a lost cause. Me, there's no way you're going to save me. How many times I had the people, my friends from the past, I would talk to them, bro, don't even try it. Don't waste your time over here. A lost cause. You know what I did in my life? You know what I did in my life? It's always the same story with them. You know what I did? You know what I didn't do? You know what I did? I don't care what you did. Kosh Baruch doesn't care what you did. Tshuva, come back. 1, 2, 3, repentance. Let's go. That's it. Get over with. Move on. Kosh Baruch says, no matter how far you went, just know you always have the ability to come back. Don't let the evil inclination come and tell you, I'm too far, I'm too this. You always have the ability to come back to God. Now, once we establish that this is truly I came to talk about something else, and then this was an original thought I had, and I wanted to share with you guys, and you guys tell me after the shiur what you guys thought about it. After giving Rivka the biggest praise in the world, look how far you came. It says, and Yitzchak pleaded with God. He begged for God on the behalf of his wife because she was barren and God answered him. And she became pregnant. Right? Now the Midrash relates, according to this we understand who prayed. Yitzchak prayed, right? But the Midrash relates they both prayed. They both prayed. And it says that Hashem answered him. Now one paragraph ago, one sentence ago, you told me, she's the greatest thing in the whole entire world. Look how far she came from. Look where she came from. And then it says, and Yitzchak prayed on her and he answered. So why did he have to answer Yitzchak? You could answer her. Who do you think it makes more sense to answer? You just gave her the biggest praise in the whole entire world. Look how great she is. And then when she prays and he prays, God answers him. Why? What did he do? So the Gemara, Yevamot, talks about it. And he says, because he's a righteous person, the son of a righteous person. And she's righteous, the son of a wicked person. But 2 seconds ago, you gave her the biggest praise in the whole entire world for coming from a wicked family and becoming the way she is. And now you're saying, however, even though we told you you're great, but your prayers are not so, a little bit lower. So what's going on over here? The Torah has no contradictions. So what's going on over here? And today I'm studying about this as I'm preparing my shiur, which is not even on this, it's on the 4th sentence in the thing. Nothing to do with this. I said to myself, what is going on over here? And then boom, like a light bulb in the kitchen, it hit me. I went, took out the notebook. I told my wife, you shower the kids. Let me go and write down. She's like, what do you mean I shower the kids? Don't worry, shower the kids. I have to write this down. Right? And then I ended up showering the kids. Let's just be honest, yeah? Let's be honest, yeah? What can we do? It's just the way of the world. Now, I was thinking to myself, this is crazy. Look at this. Safwan was one of the commentary writes that Yitzchak, he wasn't worried. Why wasn't Yitzchak worried? Because God already promised Abraham, I'm going to give you children from who? From Yitzchak. So Yitzchak knew, I'm good. I'm going to have children, regardless of which. Right? But Safwan relates that he prayed that the children are going to come from Rivka. Right? Beautiful. Very nice. The Gemara Yevamot says, if you look at the shon of the pasuk, it says, Nochacha, which basically means opposing her. That Yitzchak prayed opposing his wife. If I'm opposing you, if I'm praying opposing you, that means that what? I'm praying this side. The Gemara says that really he was praying for himself. And if you look, every time in Hebrew, the word he, hey, yud, aleph, is spelled with the yud. Who is spelled with a vav, right? Look in the pasuk in the Torah, it says, he akara, with a vav. And it's read he, she is. But what did the Gemara teach us that it's spelled, and you can also read it him? That he was praying for her as if he was praying for himself, like he was the one who was barren. Like he was the one who wasn't able to have children. She comes to her husband and she tells him, my knee is hurting me, take me to the doctor. Right away, he rushes her to the doctor's office, and they bring her into the doctor's office, and the doctor asks him, what's going on? He says, our knee is hurting us. Our knee is hurting us. The doctor says, you mean her knee is hurting her? No. Our knee is hurting us. Now, my whole life I heard this story. I heard this millions of times. And I promise you, I never once felt like, okay, cute story. Guys, Baki and Shalom Bait. He knows exactly what to say to his wife, right? Then this week, my wife was not feeling well. She goes to me, I need to go. So I took her to urgent care over here. I walked in, went to urgent care. I promise you, I felt that pasuk. I walked in there, I felt like we were both getting diagnosed. She wasn't feeling well, I felt like I also wasn't feeling well. The doctor was sitting over there, I'm in the room with her, I'm sitting over there, he's looking like me, I'm a madman, I'm not leaving her side. And I felt this idea of what it is to understand that when another person is going through pain, to feel that pain with them. Baruch Hashem, she's okay. But I'm saying, Baruch Hashem, don't think otherwise, yeah? Baruch Hashem, she's okay. But at the end of the day, the highest form of prayer a person can do, and he's almost guaranteed it's going to get answered, is to pray for another person, but to feel and sympathize and empathize with the pain that person is going through. Now, what I think is such an important point to talk about, everyone over here sitting in America today, we have a little bit of a luxury. We go to work regular, we drive our cars regular, we eat regular, we do everything regular, nothing changed. Yeah? Nothing changed in our life. But it doesn't change the fact that if you go to Israel right now, you have our brothers and sisters soldiers in Gaza and going into the field and doing everything they're doing. Now we can pray for them and understand what they're going through, right? I get what they're going through, I'm going to pray for them and I'm going to continue. And it's another level of prayer to pray for a person and say, I feel the pain that he's going through. I know exactly what he's going through. I imagine when I'm praying right now, and I'm saying to Hashem, Matir Asurim. We say it every day in Amidah. 3 times a day we say Matir Asurim basically means release those that are imprisoned. When you say those words, you just think to yourself, God, release those that are in prison. Are you picturing that, God forbid, that was you over there sitting in a bunker over there in Hamas? Chas v'shalom. How much different would that prayer be? If you close your eyes for a second and picture to yourself, maybe I'm the one sitting over there, how much stronger is that prayer now? When you say, Ofeh cholim, tell God to heal all the sick, right? It's one thing to say, God, you should heal them. It's another thing to say, I'm sitting in that hospital bed. How much difference is that prayer? Yitzchak, and this is something that I came down with, but I think that is something that's beautiful. Yitzchak did something powerful, and he says, I'm not going through something, and this doesn't affect me, but it affects you, and therefore it affects me. And I feel the pain as if it's my pain. He was praying for himself as if he was praying. He was praying for her as if he was praying for himself. He felt the pain that she had, and then he was answered. So to us. You picture right now, we say, Atzlachat Atzal, right? We say the success of the soldiers. Do you picture yourself walking into a hospital now in Gaza, holding an AK-47, or walking into one of those scary bunkers? Who knows what's going on in those bunkers? They built over there a 5-star hotel downstairs underneath the city. No, man. Seen those bunkers? I seen a video the other day of the bunkers. 15 miles long, they have over there a mess hall, they have they have everything they need over there. Now it's one thing, okay, I bombed them. But we can't bomb them, right? Why can't we bomb them? Because they have the hostages. They're very smart people. They know exactly what they're doing. So what do they want us to do? They want us to come in there. Do you picture yourself walking down a crawl space when you're praying for the soldiers? And going into a place that you don't know what's going to be there, you're scared for your life, you're going into enemy territory in their own bunk, in their own place? How much different would that prayer be? How much different would that prayer be? The main takeaway I think we have from this parasha is that when you pray for another person, don't just pray on their behalf and sympathize. Say, okay, I understand what he's going through. Try and imagine that you're going through that same situation and pray for them. And guess what Hashem says? You'll be answered. And not only you'll be answered, right? Not only you'll be answered, they'll be answered, but you'll also be answered. Meaning to say, Matir Asurim, we say every day, even when there isn't people in captivity. So what does it mean, release those that are in prison? We say almost every day, release those that are in prison. Because every single person in his life is in prison to something. Every single person in his life is in prison to some type of suffering, something that he's going through in his whole entire life. When you pray to wholeheartedly pray to release another person, not only they're going to be zocheh to be released, but you're also going to get to be released from that suffering that you're going through. You're also going to have that opening up from captivity. When you pray for healing and you have an issue and that person gets healed, you're also getting healed. When you pray for their health and their success, guess what? You also get that success. They may be fighting on the front lines with a gun, and you may be fighting on the front lines with a phone. You need some cash? I need some... huh? It's true, huh? Or you need to insure your kitchen oven, the knobs. We insure only the knobs. They would tell them. Yeah, so you need a warranty on the oven? Yeah, no problem. 2 weeks later, the guy calls, yeah, the oven broke down. Sorry, sir, we only cover the knobs. So what am I paying you $100 a year for? For the knobs. But the plastic, the $5. You never know. Those knobs are, in and out quickly. Selling point. The reality of the world is like this. When you have another person going through something, you have the ability to do one of two things. Take one, well, really three things. Ignore, which is not nice at all, right? To pray for them, but not sympathize with them, which is also not nice at all. And the highest level you could do is to pray for them and try to understand what they're going through. And with that prayer, where you pray and you pray like you're praying for yourself, then you also zocheh to help that person. And that's why we have a mitzvah, positive commandment from the Torah, v'ahavta l'recha kamocha, to love another Jew like you love yourself. What does that mean? How far does that go? To love another Jew like you love yourself. How much you love yourself? A lot, right? Hopefully. Right? Hopefully you love yourself a lot. Right? So you have to love him the same way you love yourself. So that means that when he's going through something, you also have to feel that pain. That's the highest level of prayer we can have in the whole entire world. I don't want to take up your time, but I realize I'm a little bit extra time. So I will go to the fourth pasuk. Tiny bit. Promise you. It's going to be another 15, 20 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour max. Okay? No. 5, 15, 20. Yeah. You know those guys? I'm going to cut it in. This is the last story. How many times you guys heard that from me? Now, Rivka, she gets pregnant. She gets answered, right? Now she feels a quarrel in her stomach. She feels like beefing in her stomach, like something is going on. Every time she walks by a shul, she feels like a baby kicking and pushing, trying to get out. And then she walks by a church or a place of idol worship, and another baby kicking again. Now she doesn't know she has twins. She thinks she has only one baby in her stomach. So what does she say? She says, God, what is this? If this is the kind of baby you gave me, I don't want it. You gave me a baby who one day is in the club, the next day is in, for some other religion. Saturday night in the club, Sunday morning, forgive me, Father, if I have sinned. Nah? The reality is that why was she 20 years she prayed for a baby. She gets a baby finally, and she has a baby who's a little bit, he's here, he's there, he's by, you know what I'm saying? He's going both ways, because he moves. She says, if that's the case, then why did you even bring me this pregnancy? Alvai didn't get pregnant. And then she goes to hear the word of God. Now, who's the word of God? Rashi says she went to the yeshiva to speak to the chief rabbi of the town, and he gave her the answer. Now, from there, we learn something beautiful. That a rabbi is Yaakov and Esau. You can ask me over here, Habibi. I hear, Habibi. You're testing me. You can test me. It's okay. And what happened? She goes to get the word. She goes to the yeshiva of Shem and Evil, and she asks him, and the rabbi tells her, this is what it is. You have two nations in the stomach. One is going to be wicked, and one is going to be righteous. One Siddiq, one Rasha. Whew, thank God. Man, imagine that. He tells the woman, one of these kids is going to be a wicked person, the other one's going to be righteous, and she's like, yeah, okay, good, thank God, I'm relaxed now. As long as I don't have one baby who's, if it's two and one is off and one is right, I'm okay with that. But if I have one and he's wishy-washy, then it's not worth it for me. Then I don't want the baby. Why? Because I think the worst character trait a person can have is to be wishy-washy. You know why? If God knew that her children were supposed to be the parents, her child was supposed to be the father of the whole entire Jewish nation. She said, if my son is wishy-washy, how is he going to ever get to the point where he's able to create the whole Jewish nation? What does it mean? A person who's wishy-washy, what does it mean, wishy-washy? He washes your car. Wishy-washy means basically like this. 1 minute he says, I'm going to eat this pizza. You know what, I'm going to get this burger. You know what, I'm going to get this. You know what, I'm going to get this. He's not straight. He's not going to have his mind on straight. He's thinking, always moving, this, that, jumping, boom, 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 indecisive. No conviction, no determination, not going anywhere. Habibi is like this. He's going up and down the escalator at the same time, staying in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Should I go up? Should I go down? Should I go up? Should I go down? Should I go up? Should I go down? Should I go up? Should I go to zero? Should I go to H&M? Should I go to zero? Should I go to up and down? And ends up saying just staying in the same place in the escalator, and people are just trying to pass by. This is a person who has no conviction, a person who's here and there. It's one of the worst midot you could have. Why? Because a person who's like that, he never gets anywhere in his whole entire life. The number one character trait you can have to be successful in your entire life is to be a person who's determined. You know you're doing something, you know I'm going to do this thing right now, I know exactly what I'm trying to do, I have a goal in mind and I'm goal-oriented. A person who says, okay, this is what I see, this is what I'm going to do. He's determined, he has conviction. You can't deter him. He knows exactly where he's going. He knows exactly where he's going. Like a story of two friends that they graduated high school. Two friends. Recently they graduated high school. A few years ago. They graduated high school, and after high school, one of the friends goes to them, what are you going to do? You going to go to college? There's a college. You wish. He said, okay, well, what about you? Nah, definitely not college. Okay, what are you going to do? We're going to go work. One of the friends says, listen, a friend of mine is doing cash advance. I heard he's doing really well, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. I'm going to go do cash advance. Another guy says, my uncle has a friend who does construction. I'm going to go work in a construction company. I'm going to be a worker over there. He's going to pay me $120 a day. Now the guy who's doing the cash advance starts laughing at him. He goes, what are you crazy? You're going to go be a worker? Like, it's just going to go plying the wall? What's going on with you? He's like, what? You don't have any dream termination? So he starts laughing at him. He says, no, it's okay, don't worry. A few years pass. The guy with the cash advance, 6 months he was there, he didn't close too many deals. He says, I'm going to go on a home warranty. 6 months he was there, he didn't close any deals. He said, I'm going to real estate. 6 months he was there, he didn't close any deals. He says, I'm going to Amazon. 6 months he was there, didn't close any deals, I'm going to vapes. 6 months he was there, didn't close any deals. Long story short, the guy's jumping around, jumping. 5 years pass, he's still jumping. And the other friend, who was 5 years working in construction, guess what happened now? He opened up his own company. And now he's doing his own construction company, and he's doing very well. Now they meet, these two friends. And he sees his friend, he pulls up in a nice car. He says, what happened? You were getting $120 a day, you were plastering walls, you're like one of the, I don't want to say it, but you're like one of them, you know, one of the guys you pick up from Home Depot. Senor, huh? Mavinha vi. Huh? 5 years later, the guy has a company, he's making money, he's making crazy money. The guy's sitting over there, what are you doing today? Nah, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. What's entrepreneur? I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, what do you do? Listen, I have my real estate license. I do rentals. I do sales. I also do mortgages. I do insurance. I do home warranty, cash advance. I do car washes, and I also clean your vents for $25. You want? What's the moral of the story? The idea is you can have one person who goes to one thing, and it may be hard in the beginning, but he's determined and he has a goal in his mind, and in the end he'll be successful. And take another person and he's jumping around. He doesn't know where he's at. Jump here, jump here, jump here. Never have success in his whole entire life. You're never going to move. He's never going to move. If God was teaching us a very, very important lesson, that a person in his life, it's better off for him to be a person who's straight, yashab. Because that's a person who can get things done. Bilam was a wicked prophet. He was a prophet of the Goyim. Wicked prophet. At the end of his life, he said, I wish I had the ability to die like the Yesharim. I wish I had the ability to die like the upright, the people who are upright. Who is he talking about? Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, right? That's Hashem explained. The upright. And Bilam, if you think about the story, what happened over there, he was the evil wizard, Kivyachol, in the story. And the king who hired him, you barely hear about him, Balak. But the Parashat, the title of the movie is called Balak. It's not called Bilam. He was the star of the movie. Think about it for a second. He was the star of the movie, and they didn't call it Parashat Bilam. They call it Parashat Balak. What's going on over here? This is not even the main star of the movie. So the Mefarshim explain the reason why the Parashat, the title of the movie is called Balak and not Bilam, is because Bilam was wishy-washy. What does it mean wishy-washy? His whole entire life he hated Jews. Hated them, tried to curse them, everything he could do to kill the Jews, yes? End of his life he said, I wish I had the merit to die like a Jew. Kosh Baruch Hu says, you're one of those. Huh? So then we're not going to give you the title of the movie. Aval Balak, he was straight. He knew what he did. He hated Jews. That's it. But he was straight. Even to that side. If God was at peace to know she has a one of Hashem, at least I have one Tzaddik. But the idea is the end of the world is a person needs to be straight in everything he does, because a person who's straight, he gets far. He has the ability to keep on moving, gets to go to the next level. He knows that you have to invest in life to get to the next thing. You have to be a successful person. To get to that place to be successful, you have to be a person who has determination. A person who sees, who's goal-oriented, who knows, okay, I'm going to do this right now, and I know what my goal is. I don't get deterred. I don't get, okay, so I have 6 months that are slow, 7 months that are slow. Doesn't make a difference. I decided this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing through thick and through thin. Right? You get married through thick and through thin, but man, it gets very thin. I mean, sometimes. But you know, this is the person I'm marrying. That's why we say, Matzah Isha Matzah Tov, Motzei Isha Motzei Mar v'Mavet. Hamim say that a person who found a woman, he found good. A person who finds a woman, he found the worst thing in the whole entire world. It's bitterness and suffering and everything in the whole entire world. What's the pshat? What's the two things that seemingly contradict each other? On one hand, you found a woman, you're good. On the other hand, you find a woman, you have the worst thing in the whole entire world. What's the difference? A person who found a woman, he found her already. I stopped looking. I know this is my one. I'll make it work no matter what. Then you found good. A person who finds a woman, the person says, okay, I'm with her, but if something better comes along, then I'll go with her. That's a person who's going to find only bitterness and hate and the worst life in the whole entire world. Why? Because every girl is going to pop by and look and this and that. His eyes going to be everywhere. He's never going to love his wife. He's never going to give her the affection she needs. And he's going to have a terrible home. But a person who says, this is my wife. This is the person that I married. I'm going to make it work with her no matter what. He'll have a happy marriage. That's what it means to be a person who's determined. That's what it means to be a person who has conviction. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly where he's going. And he just tunes in on it. And he says, this is where we're going. No matter what, I don't see. I'm like the horses in the city. I have devices on. I don't see nothing else. That's it. I go over here. That's it. You have a person who has determination, and this is the secret to success in your life. You want to be a successful person? You want to be a person who has success? You have to be a person with conviction. You have to be a person with determination. You have to be a person who knows exactly what their goal is and work towards it. And don't give up. Work towards it. Don't be wishy-washy. Like a vote.